Where's the margarita man? Margarita man.
Jeff, we need the margarita man. Jeff's watching inside.
Tell him to call. Tell him to call Salt and Lime.
Yeah, somebody call Salt and Lime. We
Like,
need
hey.
some more margaritas. So if you guys, we have to do a little plug for Salt and Lime. Really
Plug
quick.
away. Plug away.
Well, do a cheers with me, though. We need to do a cheers. All right. So look at how amazing these margaritas are. We got the pictures. There's little green rims. And usually I don't get salt or anything.
It's a special occasion.
I know. No, but it's so pretty when you, like, step out of your comfort zone.
Do you do that a lot?
Oh, I've been trying to, like, recently.
Good.
So my kids, I think when you and I first met,
Mm-hmm.
so you say, so let's just tell this story, because my biggest thing for, I don't know, like, is to just go out, meet as many people as you can, and figure out, like, what works, what doesn't, seeing if you can work with people, right? So we got put in a group text.
Yep.
From Jem.
The man.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jem, by the way. And then what were you, it was funny, you told me what you were thinking, and you were like,
Yeah, so, well, let's start with a quick little intro, but I do want to get into that because people, you know, when I've talked about interviewing you, like I always say my initial reaction to Jem sending me that text.
Yeah.
So, today I'm joined by a person who is very, very active in not just making a name for yourself, but helping a lot of people around you as well, which is kind of a testament to what you're doing here. Is you're bringing all these people together and you're like, hey, join this group. There's a patron that arrived and she's like, hey, I saw you guys on the Scottsdale page,
Scottsdale Moms.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm here, you know, I'm just checking it out. I don't really know anybody. And she's hung around for like the last 35 minutes and she's talking and mingling with people. So, I definitely got that impression from you the second we started just, you know, talking and riffing. But I do find you very interesting because you're very driven and a mother of two.
Yeah, single mom.
Yeah, single mom status. My hat's off to you.
Which, yeah.
But I'm joined by Claire, is it Fifield?
Fifield, yeah.
Fifield.
So it means 5 fields.
Okay.
Like,
just short.
back in the day, like when people used to have properties.
Yeah.
Or like fields. We had 5 of them, I guess, in our family, right?
Never more, never less.
Come here.
What?
Which days do we come here?
Which days? Saturdays.
Every Saturday we come.
These are my promoters.
Yeah, a little promoter. See, he's already
Well, they know.
he's already getting more people to come out. It's like, come here on Saturdays.
You
know,
can
we
see
always
me.
got an event going on. Yeah,
They
that's awesome.
are.
What is your little one's name?
Hemza.
Hemze?
Hemza, yeah.
Hemze.
No, Hemzet.
Hemzet.
H-A-M-Z-A.
Z-A.
I guess
Okay.
the O is long.
Yeah.
I just learned that at like the parent drop-off because one of the teachers for
She had
his
to
class
correct you?
was saying that. Well, not correct me, but she's like, it's a long O. Because, like, you know, the minor details don't really matter to me much anymore. I'm like, I don't know how to explain it to people. Like, just say it and we'll move on with life. It's
Which
okay.
initially I would find that kind of astonishing, is you being, you know, having so many ventures that you're, you know, going off on. But at the same time, that also can, you know, as I think about it, it's like, okay, you're looking at the bigger picture. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, your macro is what you're looking at. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But initially, I'm out the gate. I'm like, wait, you're doing so many things that you want to make sure that maybe the little fine details you got to kind of come over.
Yeah, I kind of delegate that
That's
to other
great.
people.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of have to. So it's kind of weird. Maybe not weird, but like growing up, and I was actually thinking about this on the way here, you know, because I was like, oh, what am I going to say? Yeah, right? And, oh, this isn't loading. But I was like thinking back, and you know, there's a lot of kids in school and like the education system, maybe like in public school, and they're, you know, they don't have like one specific group of friends. Like for me personally, we moved a lot. My dad worked at Boeing, and so he was assigned to different military projects. So we moved, you know, I lived in Oklahoma, was homeschooled, had like no friends because we literally lived in the middle of nowhere. Like my friends were,
You and your 5 fields.
were toads. Yeah, me and my 5 fields. Well, actually I had 3 sisters, so yeah, so just all of us girls, and we were in like the house, and we had like dingoes that were out there, I think. And they would do laps around the house, and my mom would be like, stay inside. And we'd talk to the rabbits if we didn't want to talk to our sisters or something. Like,
yeah, you're just looking somewhere for
your
a
next
friend.
is like 3 miles down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. So in school, I was originally homeschooled and then went to private school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to public school, and it was like a huge shock. But I was kind of like friends with lots of different groups of people, I guess, which now that I'm, hardcore pursuing my life, I guess, we'll just say, and my passions, it's like I do get along with lots of different groups of people. And I think that's, so if anybody's feeling isolated or alone, like you're not finding your niche of people, like don't worry.
Yeah, it's out there. Well, I can relate to that too, because when I met my wife, she was more of a homebody herself.
Yeah.
And me, I was playing soccer, I was playing softball, I would play pickup basketball, I was in a band, I was promoting shows.
Right.
I work at a music store, and I just had like these 6 different factions of friends that depending on what day of the week, I was doing something. I was out and about.
And then you had to be a chameleon to kind of tailor to the audience or whatever.
Which I guess is kind of like why this, I wouldn't say that this comes easy to me, but I find it interesting for me to like just find interesting people and pick their brains. Because I do feel like I can be a chameleon to an extent.
Oh my gosh, sorry, they're being so crazy.
They're having fun.
Hang on, I know.
Yeah. But to make our way back around, so Jem. So Jem's like, hey,
so
can
has
you
Jem
have,
sent you a lot of people before?
Yeah, he's connected me with a few people here and there, and no, because I just started doing this about 3 months ago.
Okay.
So 3 months ago is where this really kicked off.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
that's amazing.
I'm pretty fresh out the womb.
No more. Oh my gosh, the kids are being nuts.
Yeah, being boys will be boys.
Oh my goodness. Anyways.
So he's like, hey, can you have my friend Claire on your podcast? She promotes Tuesday nights Sip and Shop.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, okay, well, what's Sip and Shop? And I'm like, so does he just wants me to start interviewing like his promoters,
random people?
Yeah, his promoters. I'm like, so he gets more views, and I'm like, I love Jem, and I'm like, I'm grateful for everything he does.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't
You're
want
not like,
to.
I'm trying to plug everybody.
Yeah, I'm not a morning talk
Scottsdale.
show. Is what I was telling people. I'm not a morning talk show. Like, I want to talk to people that I find interesting because then I would be more interested in my guests, and in turn, people that tune in, can see that. Because there's nothing worse than me just being, and then what?
And you're right. It's like,
okay.
I promote this night
neat.
or something.
Yeah. So my first thought was like, well, who is this person? Can I get her? Can we meet up beforehand?
Right.
Because I don't want to just walk up, set everything up. Because you saw me set this up. It takes a hot minute.
Yeah, this was super intense, the setup. And then we had like sun encroaching on our space.
We had to migrate a little bit.
You had to readjust everything, which is perfect.
So the last thing I wanted would be we set up, and then, this girl comes out that promotes shows, and they're usually just, hey, I'm hot, and I'm putting on like shows. Can you just come out and drink with me? Like, that's what I pictured right out the gate. But I'm just like, hey, well, let's meet up first. So I was like, if she's down to meet up, let's talk, and then we'll go from there. And we set it up, and it was awesome. I definitely felt, the vibe that you put off is just like, boom, 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 let's go. Next.
I know, and I was ready to like do the podcast.
Yeah.
like 2 days later, and you're like, no, I'm actually not ready for that.
I was like, my schedule has got to open up. See, yeah. So I'm quite pleased to find you, but now especially you, because then that opens up to everybody else that's doing amazing things here. Like, how many vendors do we have out here right now? Like at least 4, right?
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. My stuff 5. You need to take a seat. We have like 5 or 6. There was a couple other people. It just kind of depends on how big the venue is.
Of course. You can't just pack it out.
I mean,
like
we
crazy.
are kind of packed in here.
It's perfectly set up.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got a very good vibe. Short of us getting beaten down by the Arizona sun.
I know.
But I like it.
I think it's good for what it's
it's testing you, but
well, I'm excited because this is a new venue, so I just started Sip and Shop over the summer.
Yeah, you were mentioning that you had maybe done what, like 4 or 5 shows.
Well, this is my 10th week.
Okay, and you've been doing them twice a week. So damn, that's
for this one I started off just 11 to 4 at Three Wise Men, and then vendors were like, well, we want to do later. So then I started running 2.
Oh, that's right.
2 shifts, so 11 to 4, and then I'd have people staggered and come in at like 3:30 to 7.
Yeah.
And so this is coming from me, who's just been doing my online business and building out my team for that. And so like I wasn't used to being out of the house for like an 8-hour stretch, and I was like, this is super intense, right? So I was like, sure, I can do it. And then I was like tired at like 4 o'clock, and I'm like,
yeah,
can we take a nap?
Now does it feel a little bit more?
And Saturdays. Well, now I'm like used to it, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for more venues. I've got like a stable like group of like 20 people, and I have everybody in like a group chat on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so it's nice, everybody's on the same page. Good. And those people kind of get first dibs at anything, and then I contact my second list if someone can't make it, or you know, most of us are moms, so I try to be pretty flexible.
You have to be
with that, and like understanding, and I'll just figure it out and book another person, plug somebody else in. So then I do Saturdays.
I wouldn't imagine that there's no shortage of people that could do this event. It's just getting the word out.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we were just featured on Good Morning Arizona.
Channel 3, I believe.
Yeah, 3 and 5, the AZ family, Mm-hmm. And so we were featured on there, and that was really exciting, but we all had to be there at like 9 in the morning. So I was like, okay, ladies, let's pull together. Who wants to be here at 9 on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
And, I mean, one of the gals drove from Avondale, and there's some that drove from Chandler to be there. So I have people driving from everywhere, which is super nice.
To go up to Three Wise Men. That's been your main home?
Three Wise Men. Yeah, so for like the last 9 weeks, so honestly, this is my first time ever doing events. So I was like, I should just do it. I know my skill set, and I know, like I've booked out tables and done some like event planning and stuff for Scottsdale nights. So I was like, the skill set can be there. You know what I mean? And then I'm also in network marketing. So I'm like, I noticed that with a lot of the other markets here in Arizona, everything has to be handmade. But for a lot of moms, which is fine, but for a lot of moms, that cuts out a big portion of the market. It's like then you're stuck with either the older people or the single people who have time to go out and get investors and this and that. And network marketing, it's like there's a lower overhead and buy-in, but the moms still want events to be able to get out there at, where like they can bring their kids. I don't know if you guys have seen, you could see the kiddos.
Yeah, they were fighting for that hat. That's a hot commodity.
I know. Oh, I think my phone overheated. Anyways.
Oh, did it?
Maybe. There's an issue. It's okay. I'll fix it. But so I've been at Three Wise Men, and then it just kind of grew. So I'm getting more attraction, like Hotel Adeline, stuff like that. Because I think their biggest thing that they were saying is just people actually following through and showing up.
Yeah. Because everybody can sign up and say, hey, I'll be there. But it's the hauling everything out of here, you know.
Right. And you have to get vendors and make sure everybody's going to show up. And then...
that's why you got to do that non-refundable deposit.
Seriously. And then luckily I have like 3 brands. So if I'm short someone one day, I'm like, okay, we're busting all of them out.
Yeah, so you can kind of like fill that little hole.
Yeah, which is nice because I think some people don't really have anything else that they're doing, which is fine, but...
Yeah, it's fine as long as that's what they're into.
Yeah.
You know, you can be into whatever you want as long as that honestly, you know, does, you know, drive you to do that. If doing nothing and you want to relax, hey, that's fine. To an extent. It's like, hey, go ahead and relax for maybe a weekend, but then get your shit straight.
Maybe a weekend, like maybe one day.
Damn, girl. No breaks, huh? Team no breaks.
No breaks.
I'm all about that. I love to hear that.
No, it's good. I feel like you have to stay, especially for the Arizona market. So I'm originally from Washington, but I've been out here for about 10 years. And I used to have like brick and mortar stores. You know, I kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
But I had furniture and then luxury streetwear boutique at Fashion Square. So that same year that those opened up, I just had a baby. I was chair of the PTO, and I decided to go back to school for interior design, and it's like an accelerated school.
Jeez.
So, yeah, so it's like squeezing 3.5 years of school into like 6 months, and then you have a 1 month final.
Okay.
So
Damn.
it was like it was pretty intense. I was still like breastfeeding at the time, so I would leave school on my lunch break, and sometimes I would come back late. And some of the other students, my girlfriend had told me, like, oh yeah, some of them are asking why you're not here, and it's like because I was running across the street to the
doing
preschool.
my mom shit.
Yeah,
I'm handling my mom shit
to the preschool to feed my son. Because I was like, I'm not going to compromise.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I like
awesome.
having that time to be able to like raise my kids or whatever.
Yeah, and still
Only
and still,
5 years. That's what they get.
now it's like, okay, you're self-sufficient.
Yeah,
to an extent.
basically. My youngest is in school, and I'm like, talk to you later.
Yeah, yeah. Mine are getting to that point a little more and more, but yeah. One will be 5, one will be 4 by the end of the year. So.
Oh, that's nice that they're close though.
Yeah, it is. It's very good because they do keep each other company, but they also know how to get on each other's nerves.
Mine do that too.
It gets me
so
because
ridiculous.
well, they both do what they know that each other hate that they do, but they'll still do it to each other.
Right.
But then they hate when the other person does it, and so I'm just trying to like
So
use
you
this
gotta add
round.
a third one in there.
Oh hell! Don't give my wife ideas.
You're so funny. No, but seriously, I try to. That's what's kind of nice about doing this or like being involved with the community stuff because I can always have my kids. Once there's a third one in there, it kind of balances it.
Okay, I heard it's the other way around. The third one kind of statistics maybe goes to shit.
No, because me and my sisters have life might, but it's always, I feel like it's always easier when there's 3, because then there's one that just like intentionally isolates himself, and then there's the other 2 who don't get on each other's nerves that are like friends. So like me and my sisters, there were 4 of us.
Okay.
So we'd each team up on 2 teams, and then we'd be like, well, if you're friends with so-and-so, which was one of the other sisters, it's like, you better stay on our team and be loyal, or else they're not going to have your back when your teammate does something to you.
Yeah, you had to have a ride or die when you were 3 years old.
Yeah, but then we'd always switch, but it's like you knew that you had to be, like, you better not snitch, and you better not tell mom, like, if we did something bad, because, like, we got disciplined with bamboo sticks. It was pretty intense.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's like when people are like, oh, I don't discipline, or like we do timeouts. No, like we had bamboo sticks.
Jeez.
And then if we hit it, we had like an apple tree, kumquat tree, more bamboo.
Wait, if you hit it, like if you
Like
found the stick and
if we hid the switch to get
Yeah,
spanked
yeah.
with, which we would do sometimes, like we tried that a couple times, and it'd be like hiding right underneath the trundle bed, and my mom's like, okay, go pick your next stick now, and you're like taking a really long time while you're out there. And
That's
you're
intense because you're having to pick out your own torture device.
Yeah, and
essentially.
you're like looking at the apple branches. I don't know if you've seen apple trees, right?
Yeah.
So instead of like the ribs with the bamboo, they have like the little nodules
the little
on them.
knots.
So you're like, oh, that might hurt. But then we had a kumquat tree, and kumquats are kind of similar, but they're not. But then it's like it can almost go faster because it just gets like more momentum in the air, and you're like, this is too intense.
It's more aerodynamic, and
yeah,
it makes a nice snap. My thought would be maybe I find something that makes the loudest noise and then act like it hurts
Oh
more.
my gosh.
So not only am I acting like it hurt more, but it makes a louder noise. So naturally you'd be like, oh, this hurts more because it makes more of a smack. But
no,
maybe
it was
it's
just
like
a good like 10, and then if you were really bad and you didn't like tell for like if nobody talked, which most of the time none of us talked.
Yeah.
Like if one did something bad, we all got like 5 or 10 more.
Oh, you guys are hard. Okay. Remind me when I get locked up that I better
call
ask.
a Fifield.
Yeah.
You definitely want to call a Fifield.
Hi, is there a cellmate? Is there a Fifield available? Shit.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. So what else? Oh, Sip and Chop. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, just what you're doing. That's really it. This is.
Oh, what else
see,
am I doing?
So that's why I wanted to do a couple of events because you wanted to do it live at this event, which I totally
know.
love. So this was definitely geared for more of the event and what the service kind of like where it benefits the most people. So reaching out, letting them know where they could go to find information. And then I definitely want to do a follow-up on just like,
oh yeah, definitely,
total background, give everybody maybe a deeper insight to your past. Kind of like we've kind of touched that a little bit with the switch,
yeah, exactly.
And then you were mentioning maybe we do a different type of series where we really go in depth on a certain subject.
Oh my gosh,
a little one.
That would be exciting.
Yeah,
so Sip and Shop, so you can find it, they're all going to be on the Glam Momprenuer. You can find it on Facebook, Instagram.
So Glam Momprenuer, explain that to the people. The
Glam Momprenuer. So simply put, it's education, resources, and opportunities for moms at whatever stage of their entrepreneurial journey they're at, whether it's direct sales or they're hand making something, or maybe they want to get involved with social media somehow. I'm also the Arizona chapter president for the Ready, Set, Go Foundation. And
what does Ready, Set, Go do? What is like their main goal?
So they're a little bit similar to mine, which is why I accepted.
Yeah.
The position is, education, resources, and opportunities again for women, veterans, and the underserved community.
Yeah.
And so in October, we do a 5-week entrepreneurial training course.
Okay.
So we go over the wealth quadrants, how to write a business plan, technology and business, all that kind of stuff. You can mix and mingle and network after. There's opportunities for businesses to actually sponsor the food. So it's nice if you're, kind of wanting to help mentor or, being an entrepreneur isn't for everybody. So most people.
You have to be self-motivated.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be self-motivated and get yourself up out of bed, out of the house, get out of your sweats.
Yeah, but have a list of your your IPAs, but not beer. Your income producing activities, I would say at least 5 things that you have to do every day.
Yeah.
And so if you're building in online, for me it's getting up, posting something inspirational, posting in a private group. I also have my own groups that I run. So I have the Glam Mompreneur Society. So I have to.
Yeah, if you type into Facebook, which I, when I was searching, who's this Claire that Jen wants me to interview? It's you definitely have, I would say at least 4 or 5 different either pages or groups and just, pages that you run basically.
I've tried to have it easy for people to kind of find me and then building that up. So I just have my regular page that I've had for 10 or 11 years. So I'm maxed out at the 5,000 and I have to delete people. A few people actually deleted themselves. I think I've been I know, overdoing it. So they're just okay, we don't.
And you can't handle it.
Which is good. Yeah, no, I'm yay, 10 people left. No, I don't have to delete people, right?
Yeah.
And so I have my personal page, which is where a lot of my stuff's at. I have the Glam Mompreneur page. I have a public figure page, which I kind of just share more businessy stuff, not any day-to-day stuff. I have Luxxwear, which is my women's lifestyle brand. So we do jewelry, clothes. I have nail oils that are handmade here in Arizona. What else do I have?
And that's, what's the website for that?
It's just Luxxwear. So most of my stuff is just online.
Yeah, kind of drop ship type of setup.
Yeah, drop ship kind of stuff. But I haven't gotten a website per se because I haven't really needed one. And that's something that's nice about how retail is going nowadays. It's people just look online to find things. So look on Instagram, or they want to know from one of their friends. They want a referral. You know what I mean? Which is kind of why I liked this, because I had been just building my business online and the organization for Modere online, which is the clean living and collagen products.
Okay.
But I was missing that community aspect and being able to connect with other moms, and I just providing other opportunities because I know there's someone probably that's sitting at their home way worse than me. I always figure it out, but
and eventually the motivational stuff will reach them, and get them and see. That's the thing. It's it's like seeing somebody that you relate to doing something amazing. That's what motivates you. That's why, like, you know, superheroes or athletes or athletes, a big thing, right? They're looked up to immensely when they're like, hey, I didn't ask for this. All I want to do is play this game. But it's like people search, it's sought out, that inspiration, that something to look up to, like somebody that
you can still make it too.
Yeah, that's why it's awesome to see so many different people from different lifestyles and backgrounds, you know, doing something great. That's it. I have to applaud it. I try not to be negative. Hey, a little pay raise, little man.
Oh my gosh, he's so funny. Yeah, I try to, I mean, it's interesting when you're like looking for employees or interns or, you know, just building out my stuff that's online, because it's like everybody has excuses about stuff, and I've never really been like open, and I never really have time to think about it, but like recently I've been thinking about it, because I'm getting to that point where it's like I can openly share like some of my journey and growing up, and it's like there's a lot of stuff where like I could have easily been a statistic, but you have to have like a really strong mindset, and even if there's nobody there for you, or you feel like there's nobody there for you, like you just have to be there for yourself. I mean, foster care, I've been to shelters, I've been different things growing up, just 'cause everybody gets dealt different cards, you know. So I've had people tell me, just from seeing me on social media, and then they'll like meet me in person or something.
Yeah, and they see the person that...
And they're, they're like, oh, you're so nice. Or like, oh, we had no idea. But it's like, that's why you have to like meet people in person and get out. And that's why this is really nice. It is nice.
And that's the beauty of the podcast realm as well, is that it's long form. It's kind of open. That's what I was telling you. It's like I would want to do another one with you that's a little bit more open-ended than this one's been. Yeah. Because you really get to get a pretty clear understanding of somebody, you know, after their walls have been broken down. I mean, you can only put up a facade for so long, and it's so much easier online. So while online does connect a lot of people, you know, long distance wise, it separates you from the people, you know, next to you or in your own community, because you're so used to being behind a screen that you miss out that human interaction, the you know, because you might say something that could be misconstrued through text. I mean, how often does that happen, right? But it's like if you hear somebody, you know, when they say it and hear maybe the honesty in their voice or the sincerity, then you're like, okay. But if you were to read that transcript,
that's why I do voice text too. I love voice text.
Me too. I think did we talk about that when we met? Like I'm notorious for like, so I would if say I was messaging you, I was like, hi, Claire, period. Like I go all out. Yeah. I'm like, hey, are we still meeting at the Salt and Lime, later?
Oh
question
my gosh.
mark.
No, not that. Not dictation. Like an actual just voice. You hold it out.
Well, okay. So actual voice message.
Yeah. I usually always just voice message people.
Pick up the phone. Nobody answers anymore. Nobody answers.
They don't. Yeah. It's intense. But or that. I mean, that's good. Somebody turned voice dictation on the other day when I'd sent them a voice clip, and I'm like, oh, I should like pay attention to how I word things a little bit, I guess. Yep.
Yeah. Be mindful. Be mindful how something might be taken, which is the big thing that I've been working on, because I try to view everything from my own eyes, and not everybody thinks the way I do. So, where I'm like, well, I wouldn't have taken offense to that, but I could see how you could have, you know.
Oh, so. Yeah. I'm realizing that a lot too lately, is like.
Well, especially you're a very type A person, right? Go.
Well, yeah, but I'm more like a red. Like, you know, on the color for personalities, like the red, like the decision maker, and they're just like quick to everything else. But I don't understand all the other colors. I'm like, oh, you need time to think about it? Okay, you just let me know. I'm not following up with you because I don't know why you
I'll
need
be
time.
5 steps ahead.
Yeah. So I just kind of have that personality, and a lot of my relationships are mostly businessy. And so if you're not in business, and I've just been at a different I guess, maybe level of business than some people, because I've talked to some people and they've had businesses and they tell me like their numbers and I'm like, okay, no, we're not on the same level. Like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you got to maximize. I totally get that from you. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got to maximize every opportunity, which is great.
Oh, yeah. But so I realized, I don't think, and that's where the delegation comes in. Like I'm teaming up with a gal that does organizational leadership and, blah, blah, blah stuff.
Yeah.
Something. She organizes stuff. But like, that's what I need. Because like, I know it needs to be done, but just taking time away from doing those, like, what are, for me, minuscule tasks.
Again, back to the macro. Like you're
it's just kind of like, no, I need to keep building. Like, I'm a builder. And that's something I realized, like, recently was I was kind of still, like, dabbling or picking up, like, contract jobs. But it's like the contract jobs would turn into, like, bigger jobs, or they ended up wanting me being there, like, 9 to 5. And I'm like, no, this is what I'm trying to get away from. Like, I was just trying to do a short stint and all that kind of stuff. And then it just turned into something bigger, but it's like people call me when they're ready to build. They're like, maybe there's a lull in the business or they're losing money and they want to figure out why their systems aren't working. So I'll go and I can figure out why something's not working, and then I'm done. I don't want to like remake the system, or I'll put it in place, but I don't want to actually be the one working that system.
It's the whole bar rescue idea. That's in my wife loves that show. So bar rescue, he comes in, he sees what's fucking up, and he's like, this is what you need, and then he dips.
No, seriously, that's kind of just kind of how I am. So I've been trying to work on it.
It's good to hear that you're working on, where you can still see where you can improve.
Like realizing
that's
where
what it is.
Off. So what else?
Well, the sun is encroaching on us, and we need another margarita. This has been really good, actually. We got a lot more out of this than I anticipated.
Oh, you did?
Definitely. I think there's a lot of value in this short podcast that we did, because we're live, we're on site, doing video, kind of promoting it. So.
Oh yeah. So find us all. I'm planning on doing more venues. So if you have a venue and you want us to come out.
Right. I haven't even thought of that. I keep thinking of like, hey, female, business owners or entrepreneurs, like, hey, do this, but also reaching out to. It can
be like it can kind of be like anybody can come. That's the thing. It's like, as far as like the vendors, I just try to have like women entrepreneurs and for business networking. But like anybody can come. I had someone message me about that the other day, and they were like, well, it says it's for women, I'm not coming. And I'm like, well, but there's still a whole restaurant. There's still a full bar and alcohol.
Well, not only that, but one of your vendors here, Judith, I was talking to her, and she has a men's line on her activewear. So she's like, she has men's clothing here as well.
Well, that's the thing, is a lot of the vendors have... A lot of like direct sales companies have realized the need to kind of diversify their lines for their distributors. And so, a lot of them have... different thing. I think Paw Street was supposed to be here. Yeah, unisex, bag designs. I mean, there's a bag with dinosaurs, like, it's a little bit of everything. Oh my gosh, they're so funny. Get them in here. Get them in here. I know, right? All right, so one last time, let's where can people find all the information about? Mostly just Facebook and Instagram. Yeah. Just connect with me on Facebook or Instagram. The Glam Momprenuer. The Glam Momprenuer. You are Claire L. Fifield. Claire. Well, that's on that other page. Yeah, I had to go check the other page, so I've got 2 personal pages now. Yes, I see that. Taking a note from Jem. Yeah. He only has like 6 pages. He always has one like on something. Like as soon as he puts it out, I was like, damn, somebody's quick, and it's like his other page. I was like, okay, good. You're like 3 likes. From like from Jem S. Ray, Jem, and then Jem full Sin name. City Apple. And basically this whole thing is called the Sip and Shop. Sip and Shop, yeah. So originally it started out as indoor market, but it's starting to be fall again, and some of the venues that are like, yeah, we'd love to have you come, like this venue, they don't really have room inside because it's retail space inside of a commercial property.
Oh,
because they have it's all businesses.
Yes.
All that is business suites, and then this is like the retail shopping attached to the center.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotta walk that fine line.
I know. So we're outside. You know, it's nice though. We have the misters out here. It's mostly shaded.
It's the atmosphere is great.
Oh yeah, and you can always go inside if you need to. You can't stand the heat.
Can't stand the heat. Might as well stay home. No. Do come out and enjoy and partake.
Yeah. So Facebook, Instagram.
Beautiful.
Or you can message me on my personal page. If you need to, like, I don't mind.
Hey,
my personal
clean
page
messages in the DMs.
Oh yeah, don't send
guys.
me anything crazy. I got a poem yesterday.
Well, poems are nice.
Yeah.
Noted, nice folks. It better be a haiku, not just your regular poem.
Yeah, like, please have it, like, digitally mastered or something, too. Beautiful. Who knows?
All right, guys. Well, this has been the latest installment of This One Time. Today, my guest was Claire Fifield. We are here promoting the Sip and Shop live at the Salt and Lime in North Scottsdale, right off the Shea exit and 101.
Shea, yeah, 94th and Shea. Because this is 9400 building is like the name of the shopping center.
Yeah, it's a nice area.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, because even, it's like, I lived in Fountain Hills for 8 years. And so it's like, if you don't want to be seen in town, you might want to have a few drinks and maybe talk about
Let
stuff.
Your hair
you don't
down.
Want everyone to hear you.
Yeah.
You come here.
Right.
Yeah, it's
This
amazing.
is a good spot. I'm gonna try and get some food here. And the margarita man never came back around. But
oh, my gosh. We'll get some more. We don't want to get too tipsy.
Thank you for coming on, and wish you much
me.
success.
Thank you.
And we'll do this again soon.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
All right. Signing off. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Oop. Got microphone here. Okay, guys. My other broadcast kind of interrupted. Oh my gosh, kids are being crazy. Come out and see us.